welcome to my channel. I'm Angie Nayeli. This is my first video, so I wanted to do like an introduction slash get to know me kind of thing. I'm 20 years old. I'm from San Diego, California. I'm currently a student at Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. I found out I was deaf when I was about 3 years old. So this is the story of how it happened. I was laying down with my mom on her bed, and so she was on my right side, and I was on the phone with my abuelita. So, you know when, like when you're talking on the phone, and after a long time, like your ear kind of gets tired, and so basically that's what happened. So, I tried switching over, you know, like how I had seen my mom do. So I tried, you know, switching over to my right side, and I couldn't really hear anything. So I start calling out. I'm like, bueno, abuelita, bueno. And so I turn to my mom, and, you know, I tell her, creo que colgó, like. And so my mom, she could hear. My grandma was like yelling, you know, she's Nayeli, Nayeli. But, you know, I couldn't hear anything. So my mom, you know, she's like, like, that doesn't seem right. So she, you know, she takes the phone from me. She tells my grandma, like, hey, like, I'll call you back later. So she calls my dad, and she tells him, you know, I think we need to take Angie to the audiologist. So we set up an appointment. You know, we ended up going to the hospital, and I got tested and everything, and sure enough, I was deaf. So I'm completely deaf from my right ear, and I can only hear about 40% from my left ear. So at the time, I went through a lot of like testing, and just I was seeing like a lot of different doctors and specialists and stuff, because they were so surprised at how well I spoke in comparison to how severe my hearing loss was. I actually started speaking when I was about 8 months old, so I was pretty young. The actual cause of my deafness isn't really known. The more likely thing is that I was born deaf because I was premature. My mom had me when she was about 6.5 months pregnant, so I'm actually a miracle baby. Hearing is one of the last things that develops during pregnancy, so it's likely that mine just never finished developing. Anyways, you know, after that, you know, after all the testing and everything, I got a hearing aid. I've worn it ever since. I only wear one in my left ear. There's no use in trying to wear one in my right ear because I can't hear anything in the first place, so there's really nothing to amplify. When I was in kindergarten, I went to a school with a deaf and hard of hearing program, and I began speech therapy there. After that, you know, starting first grade, I was mainstreamed, which basically just means that I went to just a regular public school, all the way, you know, until I graduated. I just used different assistive hearing devices in my classrooms. For example, when I was younger, I had what was called an FM system. So basically, it was just like this little box kind of thing, and I would just wear it, like I would attach it to me, and it had like, it kind of looks like earphones, but you know, they were actual hearing aids. And later on, I just wore like I had like a speaker kind of thing that they would just place like near me, so that I could hear everything that was going on. A little before I graduated, I found out about Gallaudet University. It's the only university in the world that's designed for deaf and hard of hearing students. I decided to apply. When I got accepted, I was really excited because I'd finally be amongst deaf and, you know, other hard of hearing students. So I attended a program here in summer of 2015, and I began learning American Sign Language. I actually began attending school here in spring of 2016. So my school is bilingual, which means that we use ASL and written English as our method of communication. I'm now a junior. I am an English major and a Spanish minor. So my goal with this channel is to create accessible content. As a deaf person, I've always struggled when I watch YouTube videos and, they don't have subtitles. So it's always, it's hard to make sure that I understand completely whatever the creator is saying and that kind of thing. So I do want to create different kinds of videos, but my main goal is to always make sure that everything is accessible so that it's enjoyable for everyone. If you guys have any questions or anything, I'm more than happy to answer. My next video will probably be about my experience here at Gallaudet so far. So if you guys have any questions or suggestions, ideas, anything, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.